It's not for the fame and fortune. It's something far more valuable than that in my book. I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. I've also got a huge surprise coming up. But first, I've got to change my sunglasses because the old current bun's coming out. And I've got to put the kettle on. Let's talk about YouTube. Well, first off, let's get over the fence. Take the old ball and chain with me, and then I can go and check on the goat herd as well, because I can't see them. That'll be good. We could have a live chase on our hands. Over 60 goats gone AWOL. Get over the stile, mate. Do you mind moving, you? Whatever. Won't move. All good. I've located the herd at the other end of the farm, so I'm going to stay in the shade because it's getting a little bit warm. That's better, because it's a serious thing that I want to talk about. First off, let's dispel this thing about the money that YouTubers make. Let's be realistic about it. We're coming up to 5 years, me and Toon, doing YouTube. I think we're approaching about 500 videos now. And, you know, it's not that easy doing our type of channel that to get monetized. So it takes a good length of time, and then it just comes in dribs and drabs. I think my first paycheck was about $3.50 or whatever, and you know, you got your equipment, of course, to offset your initial earnings. We're on our second GoPro now. My old ancient work laptop died, and then Toon's laptop died, so then we had to fork out for a supercomputer to do all the editing. So there are things, you know, and accessories, batteries, SD cards and all that sort of stuff, so that you do spend a fair bit. Yeah, it's not every month, I know that, but unless you become a huge channel, you know, you're never going to be rich, guys. I'm not saying you can't be, flipping it. You got 1 million subscribers and regularly getting over, you know, 100, 200,000 views on a video, then, you know, you'll probably be minted. But that's unrealistic for us and the majority of YouTubers. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's about 90% of YouTubers give up their channel within the first 12 months. Whether that's they just think it's too hard work, or, you know, they get despondent because they don't get the views. Personally, I don't find it particularly hard to make a video. I mean, you can see it's not particularly well planned. Does it get in the way sometimes? Yes, it does. It makes a job that could potentially take an hour, maybe it takes an hour and a half or 2 hours. Do I enjoy it? Yeah, and I think Toon doesn't enjoy it quite so much as me, but when we watch the video back together in the evening, always before I publish, we sit there and watch it, make sure that she's happy with everything. Then she's on a par with me as far as enjoying and thinking it's worthwhile. She sees me taking like 5 seconds of footage here, 5 seconds there, and I'll say to her sometimes, you don't have to bother saying anything here, just do your thing, and I'll stick some music to it. It's definitely more of a surprise for Toon. Whoa, big fish. Whoa, yeah. I might go and get the rods out. What I do think is sometimes missed is the sacrifice that a lot of YouTubers have to make. And it's, you know, the editing and uploading, replying to comments and all that sort of thing. So it's a sacrifice of time, no doubt. It does take a lot of my evenings up. Do I mind doing it? Not at all. Not at all. For reasons that I will go into as we go along. You'll hear a lot of YouTube gurus saying, you know, get your backside on YouTube to advertise your company, your brand, the services that you offer, you know, the stuff that you manufacture, all those sorts of things. And I do agree with that. There's far less competition on YouTube than there is on Google with just a website, so you can really reach out to people in that sense of things. And that does touch upon why I originally had the idea of setting up a YouTube channel. Before we moved to the farm, we were living in the village just down the road, and I was still doing my work trips, as you well know, most of you. And I wasn't sure which way we were going to go. Well, neither of us were. All we knew right back then was we wanted to live on the farm. and live a basic, healthy, fun life together. Yes, we dreamed of having a fishing lake for, well, for as far back as I can remember. Toon loves a fishing, as you all know as well. Whether it was going to be financially possible, we didn't know. We also thought about doing farm stays, homestays in the nearby village house, but originally we wanted to sell that. It hasn't transpired, so it does look like it's a homestay setup there, or just a basic rental. It's been a huge steep learning curve for us here. So, you know, when you're new to farming, you're new to a piece of land, although we knew this land for many, many years. You know, it's not until you spend some serious time and trying out different things that you start to get a true representation of what's possible on the land. But what I did know 5 years ago was we needed some degree of online presence to help potentially push people, not put, it doesn't sound right, does it? To lead people down the rabbit hole. I think that's what they say, these gurus. Help people find us. In the middle of bloody nowhere in Thailand, well away from the tourist track and attractions. So there's no way for you guys to actually find us if we didn't have some degree of online presence. So yeah, we could have just put a website up, but I thought, well, you know, YouTube, I'd like to start documenting what we're doing here anyway. Yeah, I started taking some photos and that, doing videos, even if it's just a glorified slideshow of things that you've achieved on the farm, you know, high points, low points perhaps. Even by putting that together and putting some groovy music to it, or really emotional music, it's so good. If you've never done it before, you've always been just into your photos, have a go at doing that. And if you don't want to publish a whole video, set up a channel and publish a video, just use the software that's on almost every computer now, rather than just storing your photos. You know, put it to a slideshow and put some of your favourite music to it. It's brilliant. So as far as creating brand awareness, or, you know, just you being on the map, setting up a YouTube channel, it's brilliant for that, but it's nowhere near #1 on my list. Coming in at a very, very close second is the people you meet. Over the last, I don't know, 2 years, we've had a fair few visitors. Not a lot, but a fair few. And if COVID hadn't reared its ugly head, and we didn't have to cancel several visits, we would have met a lot more of you. So it's been a real shame. By and large, the people that we have met, fantastic people, you know, and to finally meet some of you that have been following us from very, very early days. I mean, when I look back at some of our early videos, what were you doing subscribing and watching all of them? They were shocking. But I haven't deleted them. I've never deleted any of our videos, even the ones that I'm not particularly proud of myself. I've done some very touch and go videos that, thinking back, I shouldn't have done. I do regret them. I know a lot of people say, "Yeah, I don't have any regrets in your life." I still haven't deleted them, but I've put them to private, and I don't look at them, but there may come a day where I will look back at some of these things and reevaluate what the heck was going through my brain. But yeah, to meet some of our hardened viewers, I haven't phrased that very well, have I? It's not a bloody swingers resort or anything. It's been brilliant. Yeah, it's a strange one. When we first agreed to letting you lot out here, it was a bit, perhaps a little bit nervy, a bit of the unknown, I suppose. And you watched us for, you know, God knows how many videos, over God knows how long, and I hope it comes across on the videos that none of it is an act. You know, we are who we are, and we try to make our videos as as a true representation of us, the way we live and what it is like here. That was always Toon's caveat to saying, yes, let's do a YouTube channel then. Keep it real and don't cut out my swearing. I have beeped a bit out. You might find that hard to believe. So whether it was a shock for some of you guys that have come out here and met us for the first time, I don't know. But for us to put a face and a voice to the online profile has been a very, very pleasant experience, and touch wood, hopefully that'll continue for many years. I can say that now because long term I didn't think we would be doing YouTube for 5 years. I thought whatever it was that we finally decided to do, and we'd set up a website and driven traffic to that, then I wouldn't be sacrificing any more time doing it. It's not that YouTube's addictive. I haven't found it addictive. You get into a routine, certainly, but you build up. It's strange, isn't it? I certainly feel like I'm building up relationships with people, and this is where my number one is. And it's these relationships that is my number one. So it's not just you guys that have come to visit us, because for the vast majority of you can't get out here for one reason or another. Now, before we started this channel, if you'd have asked me, you know, mates online, you know, online friends, communities, I'd be like, well, sort of like online acquaintances. You know, you can't have a friendship online. I tell you right now, some of the messages, comments and emails have been staggering. I would say even some of you have let me into your life just as much, if not more, than we have the other way around with our videos. You know, some of your experiences and that, there's just some incredible people sprinkled in with our subscribership. Is that right? One word that hopefully sums up the best thing about being on YouTube or a YouTuber, and it's the connectivity. It's a great word, isn't it? Connecting with people, because to me that's what it's all about. Life. Yeah, you can meet people, but it doesn't mean you're gonna connect with them. You can send people to your brand, your setup, your product, and that doesn't mean anything, does it? It's just making money. Making money, well, yeah, it's nice. Most of us like it. The whole world seems to evolve around it. We all need a little bit of money, don't we? Well, I think most of us do. If you're money driven, I can highly recommend listening or reading what Steve Jobs said before he passed away. Now, that is a real eye-opener, and there's not many people that made much more money than that fella. Oh, you good listeners, you two, aren't you? All right, mate. You'll be all right when it goes loosey, won't you, eh? You'll be all right. You got babies to make, ain't you? Eh? Not yet, though. That'd be a little bit creepy. Whether I'm going to be able to sit here and enjoy my coffee with the old ball and chain here, I don't know. So we could be getting a bit more camera shake than usual. But, we'll see how we get on. If they start trying to peel my skin off my legs, I'll have to keep on. She's chewing my wedding ring. Just had to throw my prescription sunglasses back on. I'm petrified. I thought the goats had got out because I could hear the farmer at the back of our land. He started shouting, and I thought it might be Bullseye trying to nick his sandwiches or something, but I think he's just shouting to his missus and that. They seem to have that love-hate relationship, same as me and Toon. I want to keep them on though, because my eyes are getting a bit sensitive. I am the sort of person that does like my own time, as I'm sure most of you do. You know, for years I was into carp fishing. You know, and I think nothing is about spending 3 or 4 days by the side of a lake on my own in my bivvy. yeah, I could, well, I'd need Toon to look after me, but I could quite easily hack being on a desert island if there was stuff to catch and eat. I'd really enjoy that. Me and Toon always said, before Toon came back to Thailand before me, they started a series called Bear Grylls Survival Island. Toon would have pissed that. No problem at all. She used to sit there shouting at him, like, get a grip, man up, you know. Eat that, you can eat that. Just stick that on the fire or have it raw. It's good for you. I don't think it's built into human nature, is it, to be on your own? So even as far as me and Toon being on our own together, if that's grammatically correct, it's still nice for us to meet other people. Quite often, although it's really nice to meet new people, it's also nice when you go again. So you don't get the wrong impression about us. It's when we have someone here visiting, it's not that we can't do what we normally do. You have to muck in. Sometimes we take the foot off the gas. Well, generally speaking, we do. We use it as an excuse to have a bit of a break. Hang on a minute, she's biting me nads. We are concerned, you know, sometimes me and Tim will be like, oh, no, we'll do that when they go, you know. We don't want to leave them on their own at the house for 3 hours and things like that, or that's a little bit dangerous, or that's a little bit too much in this heat, you know. They've just got off the plane, for Christ's sake. You know, you might only be here for 1 or 2 days, and you know, you're all jet laggy and that sort of stuff. So, you know, sometimes things do get put on the back burner for one reason or another. What we have found strange though is, a couple of days later, we're like, well, quite miss him. So and so would have enjoyed this. So it's a shame he's not here. He could have helped us do this. And that has really surprised me and Toon. We thought, you know, once you've pootled off, back to farmstead normality. But no, it's a pleasant surprise, that is. But if we hadn't have had that connection, we would have been glad to see the bloody back here. Right, as promised, I've got a surprise for you guys. And it's a surprise that I never thought would ever take place. I should have thought how I was going to phrase this before I started recording. Never mind. The first few months that we were doing YouTube on our channel, I honestly would have been happy achieving like 500 subscribers. For some reason, that was the number in my head. You know, I suppose you're like, oh, got the first 50, got the first 100, but for some reason 500 was like a milestone, you know, like a target. And it took us almost an eternity to get there. Like I said, perhaps our videos weren't quite up to scratch back then. I mean, you think these are bad? Flipping heck. Although I'd like to say one of my favourite ever videos was our second one that we did, and it's a bit biased really because it's got my mum in it. Even though it's all juddery, we went round the national park where all the old temple ruins in Kampang Phet, and I found some absolute knockout music to put with it, and it was a fantastic couple of hours. And although it was our second video, and I say it is a bit for some reason, it's really got the old heartstrings. I still don't think it's even got 1,000 views, and this is a strange thing about YouTube. The videos you think would do really well, pants, and the ones you're just like, whoa, I'm not even sure whether I should publish that. Boom. So of course, once we reached 500, we're like, well, there's a real chance of getting 1,000 viewers here, and we got it. And then boom, with the, I think it's 4,000. Is it 4,000? I think it's 4,000 watch hours within a year, and 1,000 real subscribers, not sub for sub rubbish stuff like that. And then you can, you know, apply to be monetized. Well, we'd already set it up, so it automatically applied once we hit those numbers. And thankfully, we were allowed to, even with our terrible language. And that is probably one thing, well, it's something that I touched upon a couple of times the last year, you know. people giving advice about YouTube and that. And yeah, we are fully aware that our language is a little bit choice, and it could potentially have an impact on ad revenue earnings. It could also have a direct impact on whether YouTube recommend our videos or not. But I'll go back to, you know, it's who we are, it's real life. If we weren't doing our videos like this, then we wouldn't be doing them, guys. I might have started up like a very, very basic fishing tutorial channel or something like that. Still got that in me. What do you reckon? For beginners. I was thinking of the channel name, Fishing for Numpties. Total beginner's guide. How to hold your rod, all that sort of thing. Or should I just stick one of those videos on our channel? I'm thinking about setting up your fishing rod for the first time. For a numpty, for a newbie. Once we had the money rolling in, we were dripping in it. Thought, well, sky's the limit, isn't it? But what happened was, the work trips were getting in the way, and what I was having to do was record absolutely loads of footage while I was here in Thailand for 3 weeks, and then edit it when I got back to the UK, and I was publishing a video every 2 days. And people say, Lee, you're back in the UK, we'll meet up for a pint, or are you in Thailand? And no one could keep up with where I was. I couldn't keep up with myself where I was half the time. And it all got a little bit... then I got involved with the infamous vlogging wars, which is touching upon some of my less proud moments on YouTube. And I lost my way. I really did. Started to make a bit of a comeback, and our GoPro, our first ever GoPro, bit the bullet. Sent it off for repair, came back, it still wasn't right. I was recording on a phone, the enjoyment was going out of it. I was just like, look at these crap videos. But you guys still stuck with us. Again, it's that word, you know, you connected with us. You wanted to see the progress on the farm. You wanted to see what swear word Toon was going to come out with next. You wanted to see if we were going to jump in the lake or not. Whether a water monitor lizard was going to bite us when we skinny dipped or something. You know, there was real... We could see there was real interest there, and the same names started popping up frequently. So during that time, we hit a real bump. It was just getting going, and all of a sudden, bang, for those issues that I just said. And this all coincided with quite a lot of negative stuff. And looking back, I didn't help myself. I got involved in something that I was going to say I perhaps shouldn't, but no, I don't think I should have. I always thought, negativity breeds negativity, hate breeds hate. For every action there's a reaction. So I attracted, was nothing to do with Toon. I attracted an element of YouTube, which is horrible, and sometimes I've been horrible on YouTube. And I promised myself, Lee, you've lost sight of why you've started this channel, and you're letting Toon down. It's Toon and Lee on the farm. Okay, a lot of it was fishing early on, catching a dinner and making fermented fish and that sort of stuff. And now it's all gone about other stuff. You've gone way off at a tangent, and it's going down a bit of a downward spiral. So sort it out. And once I made that conscious decision to sort myself out and sort our videos out, I've never looked back. Never looked back. You can see from the comment sections, and some of you have mentioned this several times, the degree of happiness, the humour, the heartfelt emotions, people being open about their situations. It's I wouldn't say it's unique. I'm dare say a lot of channels are like that. We have something like 97-98% likes on the channels, as opposed to the other way. Some of our videos have got 100% thumbs up, no thumbs down at all. I very, very rarely block anyone. It depends what mood I'm in, and it depends what sort of track record, if anything, these people have got. Years ago, trolls would have been a big part of a YouTube channel. If I was doing this sort of video, it would take up a big bit. What did change for me though was a button called hide user, and I heard this recently of a phrase of what it basically does. It puts a troll in their own echo chamber so they can say what they like, but I can't see them, Toon can't see them, you can't see them. I think we're helping these people because they're still getting to say what they want to say and they think they're being heard. But on the other side, which is still positive, it's not affecting a YouTuber, and it's not affecting your positive experience on the channel. You know what it's like if someone's continually negative. I don't mind negative comments. Sometimes there's some very, very good reasons why that is so. You know, you might not like the way that they've phrased what they're saying, but there might be something there where you think, yeah, although you sound like a prat fella, you do have a point. If you too are thinking about doing a YouTube channel, go for it, would be my word. Just have a go. You know, start off steady. Don't burn yourself out. Don't think that you got to publish a video every single day of the week. It's hard going. I try to do a video every 2 to 3 days. Physically can't do it. I was saying this to a few of you recently as well. Physically can't do it with me and Toon every single time. I would love to do it. To me, they're our best videos, bar one, which I'll say in a minute. It's just impossible. Toon is her mum's only child that lives anywhere near her, you know, and bless her, although she's still going strong, you know, she's getting on in years, and she does need, you know, ever increasing more help. You know, Thai people do like a trip out on the motorbike. Why wait till tomorrow to pick up something from town when you're going to go there anyway and get a load of things? Why wait? Just go for that one screw. You know, it's only half an hour. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the times you're stuck with me, guys. You got fleas, mate? You'll be out of here quick smart if you have. No fleas in our goat herd, I'll have you know. Probably got the mange. Most of you know Eddie from the comments, and a lot of you watch his video channel as well. And he reached out to me after watching a few of our videos, asking for a little bit of advice on setting up a video channel. And I loved it. I really did like it. I wouldn't say it's infinite what you can learn about being on YouTube, but there's lots of things you can do to help yourselves on that. I certainly wouldn't be classing myself as a YouTube expert. And the guy that I'm really into at the moment, because he's looking at things a little bit differently, is a guy called Nate, and he's got a channel called Channel Makers. Brilliant, very likable guy, and he speaks our language, guys. Gets over his point very, very well, and in such a manner it's fun and it's easy to learn. And he likes data-driven stuff, which was never really my thing initially. But as you add more and more strings to your bow, then if you want to, you can go to that sort of degree of in-depth knowledge. And it's since doing that, our channel has grown substantially. We've got the old hockey stick, guys. So from going steadily like this, we're now going like that. And the last month and a half, 2 months, it's been amazing. It's coincided with YouTube actually giving us a chance. Our most popular video by far was Toon's swearing video about why Thai women like to marry old, fat, ugly Falang men. Very entertaining. It did cause quite a bit of a stir, because apparently there are quite a few Western guys, believe it or not, that have been robbed of all their possessions by some unscrupulous Thai women out there. So there are some people that are a little bit bitter about that subject. Plus her language as well, has to be said, is a little bit touch and go, although we did put lots of warnings on there. So that, I think the next few weeks she's going to hit over 100,000 views on that, which is bonkers. It's a shame because YouTube didn't let us monetize it until we got about 50,000 views on it. I think it's because of the language on it. But then I think YouTube realised, hang on a minute, there's a lot of people watching this, let's stick some ads on there. But of course, most of our videos, the state of our farm, most of our videos are about farmsteading here. So it's been quite hard to get a video to gain traction. You know, usually we get about 2,000-3,000 views. You know, a good one will give about 5,000 or 6,000. But it was an old crayfish video that for some reason I think YouTube just thought, oh, I think it looks like a complete guide to keeping crayfish, let's give it a go. And it's gone really, really well. But I say only over the last couple of months. I think it's been on our channel about 6 months, but now it's really picking up. Hence that our other crayfish videos are doing very well. If I was eventually going to start another YouTube channel and we didn't already do crayfish, I'd do a crayfish video channel. I think there's a real opening there. But yeah, people have joined us through the crayfish, and now, you know, some of you say, oh, looking forward to your water snail venture. Oh, never thought I'd enjoy watching goats. Oh, never thought I'd enjoy watching you fishing. And you know, you've made that investment in time to sort of like come on board and watch our life as a whole, not just the old tasty crayfish. It is a losing battle, but it's one that I will not give up on. I know I can't keep everyone happy with our genres of video, you know, whether it's crayfish, the goats, fishing, you know, growing stuff, all that sort of thing. It's some of you join specifically for one thing, and we might not do an update on that for 3 or 4 or 5 months. It might be stuff that we can only really do when we get off the farm, like a fishing video in the wild. Well, that doesn't happen very often now. So I'm trying my best. That's why I've done a few fishing videos recently. I did see that there was newfound interest in our playlist of crayfish, so I'm like, right, it's been a while since I've done an update, I need to do that. But yeah, I can understand why people do leave. It's, you know, it's nice when people join, but of course it's not very nice when people leave. And it might just be that we have too long a gap between doing updates on the genre that those people have joined initially to watch us do. So yeah, it's quite hard. Whereas if we were just doing like organic gardening, nothing wrong with that. There's another string to our bow, soon to come to the forefront of our playlists, and that will be growing fruit and vegetables in a tropical climate. You know, not just raised beds, but you know, maybe hugelkultur. I was going to do wicking beds and all that sort of thing, but it's really a journey of learning, you know, what grows best here. Yeah, I've done some research on it, but you know, everywhere's unique. You know, nowhere else has got our terrible soil exactly like this. Hello, Doris. Hey, check this out. Some of you know Doris, our vampire goat. We're mates now, aren't we? Hey, Doris. Hey, we're mates, aren't we? Hey, how's about a little... whatever. Bloody time of the month, isn't it? Where was I? Bloody goats, eh? Yeah, so we'll be doing a gardening in the tropics, a journey of discovery, failures and successes. I've been doing loads. I really have been doing loads. I was sort of like, no, I can't do a video yet. I've got a weed there. But I don't know about you. I enjoyed those sorts of videos right at the start, when everything looks like a tip. Like I call it a stig of the dump, or a gypsy site. You know, right at the bare bones, and you're just like, it'll never grow anything in there. Well, stuff's growing. It's doing fantastically well. But it still looks a little bit... Ooh. But I'm going to start recording it anyway for you, because I know a lot of you are avid gardeners, and I see you on Rural Life Thailand, the Facebook group that set up many moons ago and then handed over to far better people than myself to carry on running. You're doing a great job. And some of the gardening there, we've got some proper skill sets going on in Thailand of people producing produce, you know, good, healthy, organic produce. People that are regenerating the land and making a huge, well, I think a huge impact on other people, not just themselves. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, as you know, and it's something that I'm looking forward to doing, as well as me fishing for numpties. Me and Brownie would now like to unveil to you our subscribership figure. We've got over 10,000, guys. Amazing. It's been one hell of a journey so far, isn't it, Gypsy, eh? There's so many good things about being here on YouTube. I know they're not all brilliant positive things, but you know, where else can you see a bloke getting licked by a goat, eh? And enjoying it. I almost forgot my favourite video of all times over the past 5 years. My favourite video is the one about Toon, where she qualified for the Student Olympics. Never ever done a video like that before. I probably will never ever do another one like that again, unless Toon lets me do a live story, like a mini series, something like that. But I keep nagging her, guys, but she won't let me. She won't let me write her life story for her. But this gives you a really good insight into the real Toon, and probably a side that you've never ever seen before. I know I am biased, but if you've ever sat there and wondered during a video like, bloody hell, Toon's doing this now, bloody hell, look at her doing that, you know, it's amazing. Have you ever wondered where she gets her strength and fight from? Those qualities are covered to some degree in that video, so it's well worth a butcher's. There's not many guys that can boast being married to a woman that qualify for the Student Olympics, is there, eh? After my goat racing video, I did try to start a hashtag trend going of Toon versus Lee, the race, but it never took off. So if you want to see it happen, we need some peer group pressure put on Toon, guys. I fancy my chances, so I'll agree to running in flip-flops. She can run in what she wants, and let's make it happen. Hashtag Toon and Lee the race. Spread the word if you fancy us doing a video on that. No, Mila, I'll probably get tripped up right at the start by old Pinky and Perky here.